Cucamelons, the small vegetable that looks like a grape but tastes like a cucumber. I'm going to show you how to grow them. These vines grow large. There's better airflow, the plants will be healthier, you get more fruit, and it's much easier to harvest. I'm Angela from Growing in the Garden. My garden is in Mesa, Arizona. I want to help you succeed, even if you're gardening in tough conditions. The hardest thing about growing cucamelons can be getting the seeds started. After that, it's easy growing. The seeds can take a while to germinate. Start them indoors about 2 months before it's time to plant outside. Plant the seeds 1/4 inch deep and be patient. They're ready to plant outside when they have several sets of true leaves and they're starting to vine. You can also look for transplants at a local nursery. The best time to plant is when temperatures are nice and warm. Wait a couple of weeks after your last frost. If you live in a mild winter climate, there's also a second planting window in early fall. Generally, you're going to plant at the same time you plant cucumbers in your climate. In the low desert of Arizona, plant them from March through April, and again from August through September. If you live in a hot summer climate like I do, those spring planted cucamelons might not produce before temperatures heat up in the summer. The trick is to keep them alive over the summer. Once temperatures begin to cool off, those vines are going to take off and you'll have tons of cucamelons. Look for a spot with good soil and plenty of sunlight. Space them about 1 foot apart and keep the plants well watered. The most important thing, give them something to climb. Once they take off, plants will sprawl and grow large. There are 3 plants growing up this trellis. Growing them vertically allows for better airflow and helps prevent damage from pests. It's also easier to pick cucamelons when they're grown on a trellis. Gardening in containers, no problem. Give each plant at least a 5-gallon container and give it something to climb. About 70 days after planting, blossoms will form that develop into fruit. With all those blossoms, the bees love it. As the fruits form, they're going to get larger. The best time to harvest is when they're about the size of a grape. When they start to get yellow, that means they've been on the vine too long. You want to harvest them when they're nice and bright green for the best flavor. Harvest often, and then you'll get more fruit. If you leave fruits on the vine too long, that signals to the plant to slow down production. We like to eat them right off the vine. They taste like a cucumber with a citrus kick. They last about a week in the fridge. You'll have so many, you'll also want to make some pickles. They are so good. At the end of the season, leave some on the vine until they are large, overripe, and a little bit yellow. These are perfect for saving seeds. I'll show you how. Here's how to save seeds. Slice the cucamelons and look for fully developed seeds. Squeeze those seeds out and then put them into a jar of water. Harvest the seeds from several, so you have lots to choose from. Right now, the seeds have a coating that will make them tough to germinate. So what we're going to do is soak them in some water and ferment off that coating. After fermenting, the viable seeds will settle on the bottom and everything else will float to the top. Drain off all the water and let the seeds dry before storing. Cucamelons grow best in warm, humid conditions. That's their favorite time of year. When it starts to get cold, production's going to slow down and they definitely don't like the frost. They're a tender perennial, which means that they can come back year after year. Over the course of a season, this plant is going to develop an underground tuber. If you live in a warm climate, that tuber can sprout new leaves in the spring. If it's cold, you may need to dig that up, bring it inside, and then plant out again the next spring. Thank you so much for watching. Have you grown cucamelons? How do they grow in your climate? Let me know in the comments.